How's things, people? How's things? Hope you're all well. What a weekend of football. Yesterday scored 21 goals in 3 games. Man, who says the Premier League is not the best league in the world? Just seen Manchester City and Real Madrid, two top elite teams, go at it. Two great goals, by the way, from Vinicius and from KDB. That's going to be a banging second leg next week. We are missing Pete and Tobes. They should be with us. I hope they're both with us. Tobe said he was going to be a bit late. I haven't heard from Pete, so I hope maybe he just got so disappointed after the weekend that he just thought, you know what, I can't be dealing with talking to Potts about Arsenal and how great they were. I'm just not going to turn up. But I hope he is coming. I hope he'll be on his way. Listen, we are going to talk about two different players. One for the right reasons, one for the wrong reasons. As we start.
Wait, hold up, Potts. Because obviously before we get into it, I've got a complaint.
Why?
What the fuck is going on with this banner? I see Salah, I see Rashford, I see Harry Kane, I see Isaac, I see Felix, I see Saka. Yeah? There's no Ben Rama, there's no Antonio, there's no Paqueta, there's no Declan Rice, who I've seen you've put in the title. There's no Declan Rice. Yeah? The only team currently in Europe on this show. What's going on?
I mean, fair play. You can take us out if you want. Like, there's no point. You can have our spot.
I think it's actually quite funny because Sam, who sorted this out, has clearly forgotten to. He's clearly forgotten, hasn't he? To add West Ham in.
Look at it. Look. He was getting all the plaudits last week, yeah, for his little edit, right? Everyone was applauding him, and then he goes and drops the ball like that. Poor, he's buckled under the pressure.
Well, he got plaudits, and rightly so. I thought he did an unbelievable. He did. Yeah,
but now
unbelievable.
I didn't like the ending, but the rest was good.
I don't know what happened there. I've clearly clicked the button to get rid of Dan United. He's come back though.
No.
Don't know what's happened there, but anyway, he's back.
He was trying to run away from me.
Nothing to run away from, mate. Nothing to, mate. You're the only one tonight that I'm giving praise to. The others. Oh.
Hey, we won.
Hang on, what's happening here? Lawless getting praised. What's going on here?
I look forward to it.
Sam says, "Trust me, I didn't forget."
Look at this guy.
Big up, Sam.
I like this.
Big up, Sam.
Look at this. He's supposed to be an Arsenal fan, yeah, and he was so happy to put Spurs in there. Oh, Harry Kane. Oh, Spurs. Yeah, Arsenal fan. Yeah, okay.
It's just that everybody up there is not playing in the Vanarama Cup. Sorry, there's Johnson's Pate Trophy. Papa John's Trophy. What is it called?
All got their passports revoked, mate. All got their passports revoked. That's what happened.
We're not here to talk about banners and lack of West Ham players, but we are going to talk about two players to start and kick it off.
Am I frozen on there, guys?
Yeah, you are frozen.
That's all right,
a little bit.
Man,
What,
mate? That's
like you're doing that.
That's a Tinder photo right there. I'm screenshotting that one.
I think you need that one, mate. Okay, let's get into it. David De Gea needs mentioning. Declan Rice needs mentioning for the right reasons, because he was outstanding. Let's start with De Gea. Dan,
yes,
that was a shambles.
It's what I've been saying for the last few months about the guy. There's no shock from this man anymore. There is no shock. I was not shocked at all. Kudos to Lawless. I thought West Ham absolutely battered us. Away form is United's. It's a mentality thing at the moment. It has to be. It has to be. But as far as De Gea goes, this has been happening quietly throughout the season. I looked at some stats today, right? He's got 15 clean sheets in the Premier League. Brilliant. He's ahead. Fantastic. What an achievement. The guy's conceded 41 goals in 19 games. 41 goals in 19 games. Now, some United fans will want you to look at the positives of he's leading the Golden Glove. It's not good enough. It's not
what
good
percentage
enough.
of those goals were against Liverpool?
Is he?
Just wondering.
Has he got the most clean sheets?
Yeah, he's most clean sheets, mate. Most clean sheets.
Mad.
So yeah. he should be on his way out. But the problem we've got here at Manchester United is because we don't know where we are with the owners. It looks like it's going to be Sir Jim Ratcliffe with a couple of the Glaziers kept in there. The summer budget isn't going to be as big as we all were led to hope it was going to be. He is apparently, the news reports coming out, he's accepting a reduced contract now, which, to be honest, I'm not surprised he is after West Ham. Honestly, and I actually think it's
500k is on any
350, mate. 350.
It's ridiculous amount.
Still 350 too much. So yeah, look, it's one of them. He's got he's in the lowest bracket percentage wise for coming for crosses, not in the Premier League, in Europe. Okay, that's in Europe. He can't pass out from the back. His defenders look terrified at the thought of passing the ball back towards him. He can't come out and sweep a keeper, which is what Ten Hag wants to play. He's past what we had for him. He was a shining light in a time where we were awful, and I think you'll all agree on that. David De Gea looked quality when United were in the doldrums of 7th, 6th, 5th. It's time to go for him now, and this shows it. The goal against Benrahma, Lawless, honestly, mate, when Benrahma takes that shot, can you honestly sit there and say you thought that was going in?
No, I thought that the players were going to close it. I thought, oh, shit, he's got 3 players around him. They're going to close him down. And he's thought, let me quickly shoot before that happens. And I was like, he's getting that all day. That's never going in. And I was...
See, now, Lawless, the sad thing is, mate, every time that sort of situation arises, I do this. Because I know there's something coming. So for me, De Gea has been a loyal servant. Yes, he has. Fantastic. He's overtaken the clean sheets record. He's overtaken appearance records for Manchester United. But it's time to go. But the problem United are going to face next season is it's going to be a battle between him and Dean Henderson. That's what's going to happen next season. I guarantee it. Because Dean Henderson's injured. We can't sell him in the summer. It's as simple as that.
Well, listen, I'm going to say this now. I said this yesterday with Tobes and Lawless. Big up Tobes, by the way. I think he's overrated. Roy Keane got it right. I think he's overrated. Now, when he was in goal for Man United, he had a bad start back in 2010-11. It was like, who is this guy? He looks weak. He basically looked like Meslier does for Leeds. Like, come for crosses, he looked weak. For me, it was very, very poor start for him, right? Then he had an unbelievable couple of seasons at Manchester United, for me. Like 13-14, 15-16. It was like, yeah, David De Gea is the best in the Premier League. I'm not sure there was any world-class goalkeepers around that time that you could compare him to in the Premier League, but maybe that's harsh, and there was. But he was the best in the league. But I would say from 2017 towards now, he's been very, very poor. Like flapping at his goal, making howlers. That cannot happen at Manchester United, what happened on Sunday. That is just
Hots,
shocking.
It's not even that, mate. It's not just that. And Lawless will agree with me on this one. West Ham knew what to do. Put pressure on David De Gea on every corner. And instead of him coming and claiming, which is what a goalkeeper does, he's too busy looking at the ref in midair saying, help me. Yeah. And it's not good enough for a Premier League goalkeeper, for someone who is as experienced as him, for someone who's played in the Premier League as long as he has. This isn't his first season. He knows how physical this league is. It just keeps happening. I saw it happen a couple of seasons ago against Everton. And it's just he's too lightweight. He can't pass a ball out from the back. He is not a modern-day goalkeeper. And I will disagree slightly. You say he was the best goalkeeper around in 13-14, 14-15. Well, 13-14, we were dog shit. Okay? And he was facing a hell of a load of shots. And if you look back at his stats, then yeah, fair enough. If you look at stats, his save percentages are up there. But that's because he was facing a lot of shots. This season, it's not been the same case. Sorry, were you going to say something, Toad?
I was going to say, I think this season he has faced a lot of shots. I think Man United, because you defend not like super deep, but because you defend deeper than the better sides of the league, he does face a fair amount of shots. But the main thing I wanted to dispute was Potts' not your overarching point, Potts. If you think he's overrated, fair enough. But he was the best goalkeeper by a distance in the Premier League for me up until 2019, because I vividly remember the Jose Mourinho seasons where this guy was up until 2019. Don't do your face like that. Don't do your face like that, please. Don't do your face like that. I don't know what's wrong with this guy, man.
Jokes came in to just tell jokes, bro.
Mourinho De Gea was a madness, to be fair.
Errol and Liverpool fans, they just get touchies, and I don't know why.
I'm not getting touchy. I thought it was funny. I thought we was bantering. Are we bantering or we being serious?
Yeah, we're bantering now. All right, cool.
No, when it's 17 when he had that great game against Arsenal.
All right, let me ask you a question and let me just pose the question.
Yeah,
back,
14 saves in a game. Yeah,
that was 17-18, and then 18-19 he had a great game against us at Algarve.
Okay, so let me ask you the question. Then. So up until that point, the Courtois that goes off to Real Madrid, he was better than him when he was at Chelsea. Okay,
yes, he was.
Fine, and he was better than Ederson the season that Ederson broke into the league for City.
16-17 was the only world-class season from Courtois.
And that's fine. But what I'm saying is he was still better than Courtois at that point. His peak was higher than Courtois', is Toby's argument.
What are you talking about?
So you're saying up until
I'd agree.
I think so.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm giving so he was better than Ederson as well. 17-18 Ederson.
That's a tough one because obviously the ball playing, etc. But if we're talking about the fundamentals of a goalkeeper, yes, he was.
This is what you told. This is what you do. You'll make these like these big grandstanding statements. He was clear. Clear to me suggests there was nobody else in the conversation.
I'm talking. Listen, error. Listen, I'm saying in the period up until 2017, he was clear. He was clear.
You said 19. You said 19.
Listen to what Hot said that he was the best goalkeeper. Pot said he was the best goalkeeper in the league until 2017. I said no, he was the best goalkeeper in the league up until 2019. And for the majority of the time in that period, he was clear. He was clear. Absolutely, he was clear. He was clear. You can do your face like that all you want. David De Gea was clear. It was only until the Brazilians came in. And established themselves. That's when he got knocked off his perch, and then he started declining.
Not for me.
14, 15, 2019,
week 8, he wasn't. No.
You don't remember that Everton game in 14-15? I think that's like when he fully put himself up there as the best in the league at that time. I don't think he dropped it until about 2019, 2020-ish. That's my opinion personally.
I think what I'm saying is I'm not sitting here saying that De Gea is a shockingly bad goalkeeper and needs to, maybe he's done at Manchester United now.
Now he
was overstated.
Yeah. I'm just saying that he was a good goalkeeper, but I never saw him and thought he'd walk into any single team in the world. I always thought he had some downfall, whether it be a clanger, whether it be command of his area, which I've always doubted. I don't think he'd be particularly amazing with distribution. I think there's a few errors to parts of his game, which in my opinion means if I was looking at world-class Premier League goalkeepers, he wouldn't really get ahead of, he wouldn't get ahead of Petr Cech. He wouldn't get ahead of Peter Schmeichel. For me, he wouldn't get ahead of David Seaman. I put Ederson and Alisson ahead of David De Gea. Maybe put him on par with the Courtois of this world. So that's all I'm saying. And I think it's time for him to go now. I think, like you said, Tobes, Lloris is gone. I think De Gea is gone as well. And it's time for Manchester United to look towards a new goalkeeper. But it looks like, Dan,
they're not going to
stay.
Mate. He's going to stay. This reduced contract. Simple as that.
Tobes is happy.
You've got super David the Era. He knows exactly what you need. Howler at the post. Howler at the bar.
And we're still in Champions League. You're not.
That was a crazy turn.
Oh wow, where's that come from? Do you know what though, Dan? Let me put this. Let me actually put what Manchester United, and you weren't one of these, right? But there's a lot of Man United fans that were getting very excited about this season. Carabao Cup, FA Cup going to win, top 4. This has been a brilliant season. Europa League looks like quadruples on. Title race for a few days back in January. And it could end really poorly. If you throw this top 4 away, that will be a shame. Now, I don't think you will, but that will be awful.
If Manchester City 10 hard, mate.
One sec, Lawless, right? One sec. Man City beat them in the FA Cup. You don't get top 4 to Liverpool. You get spanked 7-0 by Liverpool in the same season. Go out to Seville in the Europa League. This could be a pretty poor end to what was looking like a really good season. And like Lawless said, Ten Hag I think deserves a little bit of criticism of the last few games. I can't lie to you, Dad. I think he's been pretty poor. Some of his decision making, some of the players, by the way, need to hold it. I mean, Martial, what's he actually still doing there? The guy is awful.
So can I ask you that question back then?
Well,
who's he played then? Because Martial, I've watched him when he's been fit this season, and let's be honest, it's been 25% of the season. And Martial, in a season where he knows we're going for a striker in the summer, I think he's gone in his head. I think in his head he thinks, I'm done. I've checked out. Starting back Weghorst was a crime. We know that. But then who else does he play? I don't think he trusts Sancho.
I think the only options you've got, the only option you got is Weghorst, or you play Rashford up there. They're the only options you've got, and you play Anthony and Sancho either side of Rashford.
Yeah, but then you play Sancho.
Anyway.
Yeah, but you play Sancho and you lose the defensive work coming back. Sancho doesn't run back, so he's on a hide into nothing with that. The other thing I will say, sorry,
where's Ronaldo gone?
I don't know what you want to say. What do you want to say?
Wasn't he the problem? Wasn't he the problem?
Yeah, he was the problem. But this is the problem, right? This is the problem, and I'm going to be real here, right? United lost against West Ham. And all I see is United are throwing Champions League away. United could do this, could do that. Newcastle lost as well. Newcastle are 3 points ahead of Liverpool, okay? Everyone is giving Newcastle their flowers, yet they fluffed a massive chance to cement it at the weekend, just like Manchester United did. Manchester United at home this season, hang on a sec. Manchester United at home this season have lost one game. That was the start of the season. I've been on this show quite a few times and I've said the same thing. The home form will carry us through. We've got 3 games at home the rest of the season. The other away game is against Bournemouth, who, until Chelsea played them, I was thinking Bournemouth away may be tough, but I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit better now. I'm feeling a little bit better about that. The other side of it is, and Gooner's 85, you can say I'm waffling, brother, but you guys bottled the biggest job of the season. And I've been fair to you guys. I have been so fair. But you bottled a massive lead, and I had to watch all of the Arsenal fans say this was their year, this is what they're going to do. And now you're coming for United fans, who at the start of the season, Manchester United fans, a lot of them said, we'll finish 5th, we'll finish 6th. A cup was a dream. We've done it. We're still in top 4, okay? We've still got a game in hand, 3 games at home. Until the last game of the season, I'm still going to believe that we're going to qualify for Champions League. And at the end of the season, I'm going to look back on this season and say, do you know what? People said that we weren't getting anywhere near top 4 this season. Yet here we are, top 4. Here we are in FA Cup final. Here we are with a Carabao Cup win. Job done. Happy with it. Has there been flaws this season? You're damn right there are. Has there been shit this season? You're damn right there has. Simple as that, though. At the end of the day, come the end of May, if we're in top 4, I'm going on my holidays and getting ready for Champions League next season. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Fair play, man. You've come back with a good answer. To be fair, I think Champions League
football
and a cup would be a good one. But not going to rattle Dan tonight. Before I come to West Ham, Lou, I know you haven't got long, man. But we are going to get to West Ham. But might as well touch on the fact that Chelsea have finally won a game of football, bruv.
We are staying up. We are staying up. Let's go, guys.
Hey, they learned a new song other than Chelsea. Chelsea.
Yeah, man, we finally did it. It looked horrific, I won't lie. We still didn't deserve to win that game, but whatever. I'm not complaining. Beggars can't be choosers. Take what you can get. I now have 40 points. I've been waiting 4 months for this day, and I finally got it. It was glorious. It was beautiful. There was hugging. There was crying. When João Felix scored the 3rd goal, I can't lie, a tear did drop from my eye. I didn't think I was going to get to this point at any point this season.
We're back.
But we'll take it. We'll take it. No, I won't lie. We're not back. I still don't think we're getting any more points for the rest of the season. You'll see that Forest Super team yesterday. Long day on Saturday for us. But I don't care. All I said was I wanted 40 points, and I am signing out. And I got my 40 points, and I am officially signing out. Dan, I want to thank you. I want to congratulate you lot in advance on your 3 points against us that you'll get in about 2 weeks, because these players are still on the beach. It weren't a good performance. Only Badia Shield and Mads Wakey were our were good in that game, in all honesty. Everything else was just shit. Kepa as well, to be fair. But they're on the beach. I expected it. I didn't even think we were going to win this game. I'll take it for what it is. We're staying up. All of that. We're all good. Yeah, I'm happy. First time in fucking ages we've had a win. And we beat the 007 memes again. So I'll take that.
Do you think, Lou, that like there's been a couple in the last few games? Like Lampard's been trashed, you know that, right? Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Do you think there's been a couple of players that have shone in terms of individual performances over the last couple that you can say at least they've got some form of future? Badiashile, Madueke, I thought was the only one that could have come out with his head held high at the Emirates. Not just because of the goal, but I actually think he looks half decent. So I suppose you're looking at the waste men at the club, not thinking just get through this season, rejig it in the summer. But is there anyone that's shone for you over the last couple of games?
It's been hard because as soon as we lost to Madrid, everybody went on the beach. Even the likes of Silva and Enzo, you saw their performances drop. So it's hard to judge, but I'd say Madueke, I'd say Badiashile. Mudryk I'll give time for. Like, I didn't really expect him to be good at the start. He hasn't had a lot of starts anyway. Hasn't looked good in half of them. Is what it is. You're going to get those inconsistencies at a young age. So I'll give him time. Enzo as well. Silva's still been good, even though I think he's dipped off a little bit in the last few games. That's that. Kante, he's been brilliant. He's been our best attacker at certain periods. He's not even an attacker.
What a player, man. What a player over the years he's been, man. Just ridiculous.
Yeah, I was questioning whether to re-sign him or not. It all depended on how he was like when he came back from injury. But he's been unbelievable because he wasn't great last season for us. He was costing us in a lot of games. He's got straight back to his best. Sign him up for whatever he wants. But that's it. That's just it. Everyone else has been crap. Everyone else has been terrible. I expected it.
What about Felix, by the way? Because I wanted to ask about him, Lou, because option to loan him again. Do you think you will? Do you think he's had like a failed loan, or do you think that 12 million was well worth it? Like, what's your thoughts, bro?
I mean, there's been flops. There's been money spent on long-term signings as opposed to getting immediate results. Like Graham Potter wasn't even given the target of getting top 4. His target was just to improve the performances, and he didn't. But yeah, there's not been a lot of targets for us. I think the only failures we've had so far have been Sterling. He's had a shit season for us. Koulibaly, Cucurella, Aubameyang, but that's not really his fault. We just thrown him out of the squad for no reason after the World Cup and then complained that we don't have a striker up top. That's about it for me. That's about it. Like the likes of Madueke, Mudryk, Badiashile, they're all meant to be long-term like signings and everything. Some of them have already hit the ground running. João Felix, he hasn't really been given enough time. Like I don't want to spend 88 million on him. He hasn't shown me enough. But I would want to keep him on loan for another year because he's still been our best attacker. It's just the bar's in hell. And there's still areas of his game that he needs to improve on. He needs to be a bit more better creatively. He needs to be a lot less selfish. He holds the ball on for way too much. But on the ball, he looks like our best attacker. And I can't understate that. So I'd keep him for another year, let him have more time to adjust to the Premier League. Because in all honesty, he's just not been given enough time to fully judge him. And yeah, if we get him on loan again for another season, I think that's the best thing for all parties. But I wouldn't sign him for 88, 90 million right now.
They're playing, man. There was a half decent defensive midfielder playing for Arsenal at St James's Park at the weekend, bro. He looked all right.
Yeah, can we have him back, please?
I know you were actually a fan, Lewis.
Graham Potter, man.
You were actually a fan,
I was
weren't
saying
you?
it from the start. I was like, this is a good move for Arsenal. When Willian was joining you lot, I was celebrating. I was going crazy. I waited years for that bum to get out of my club. David Luiz as well. It was the right time for him to go. Check, we had Courtois. I didn't really feel that bad about it, even though I knew he would be good for you guys at the start. Jorginho, no, I was pissed off. We have no DMs. We're in the middle of an injury crisis in midfield. No Kovacic, Kante, Loftus-Cheek, Gallagher's out, and you sell our only DM to Arsenal when they're looking for fucking depth. It's one of the dumbest moves I've ever seen, all for the sake of a measly 12 million, so you can play Enzo, Gallagher, and fucking Mount as a midfield free against Fulham in your next game, for us to get doggied at home by Fulham and scrape with a 0-0 draw and then say the boys gave everything. No DM. We still don't have a DM. You remember when you lot played us and the first 2 goals, look at the space Odegaard had in the middle.
Yeah.
No DM. See what happens when you have fucking a bunch of players that like to chase the ball as opposed to sit deep. But Graham Potter, it's a win-win-win for all parties. Dickhead. That's why I'm glad he left. So many stupid decisions from him. Jorginho to Arsenal pissed me off differently. Arteta wanted this guy since 2018. And you thought it would be people thought it would be a bad move. He knew exactly what he was doing with Jorginho. He's cooking. And fair play to him. I'm happy for him. I spent years defending this guy from fucking idiots in our fan base who kept saying, he's the guy holding us back. Our attack is going to be so much more fluid without him. Now we have the worst attack in Chelsea history in 99 years. Hope you're happy with yourselves. At least we don't move the ball slowly anymore. Have you seen the way we play football? If I speak. I hate our fan base sometimes, man. I swear down.
Yeah, so do I. I hate your fan base sometimes.
All they
as
want
well.
is P&P merchants, bruv. How about some technical ability? Now we're Roadrunner FC. Great. At least we have the highest distance covered per game.
Oh, mate, that was a great rant. I can't even lie. Lewis, I know you've got a bounce, brother, but I appreciate you as ever coming on, my friend. And
no worries,
we'll
my
see
guy.
you next
Big
week,
up,
man.
everyone.
Big up, bro.
You, man, take care and everything, man. Hopefully I see you after a win, but we're probably not going to get. But big up, my guys. Take care, everyone. Bless.
In a bit, Lou, in a bit.
Big up, big up.
Lawless, this is your moment, my friend. West Ham got their win against Manchester United. We joked around last week and said that you might win your bet off of Dan United, but would it be sweet to do it by beating them? And that's exactly what happened, man. What did you make of it, bro?
We need to talk about his boy first because we skipped over the player. We didn't.
Oh no, we're not. We're coming back to that. Trust me, we're coming back to that.
Oh yeah, don't worry. Put your tongue back in your mouth, Errol. Wipe your drool, yeah. All of that, getting all excited to talk about my player, right? We'll get there. But first, let's go out. Not my player, my team, my football team, the team that has been taking shots all season. I've had to sit here, I've had to sit on London Club's Carnage and just take a load of shit from everyone. And yeah, okay, we've been crap. But, you know, at the end of the day, I said we'd have the last laugh. And it's looking like we're going to have the last laugh. Obviously, look, Dan, I can't let you off the hook. Yeah, you're being gracious in defeat. But
There's nothing to be gracious of, Lawless. Away from home, we're a shower of shit. There's nothing to be gracious about, mate. It is what it is. I said on the show last week that I was worried. So it's not like I sat here last week saying, "What the fucking do you, man?" I told you.
Yeah, but all the shit you've talked about West Ham, yeah, all the shit, and the fact that you said we're going down, we're getting relegated. You said it with your chest. You said it with so much chest that you put £50 of your wife's money on the line, yeah, on the line. And what happened? What happened? The poetic justice.
She's downstairs. She's downstairs selling feet fucking images to pay for this at the moment, mate. So don't give me that.
I hope you're proud. I hope you're proud of what you've put her through. But the fact that we did it, we're staying up as a result of beating Man United, it's even sweeter. You couldn't write that. You couldn't write it. And we didn't just beat you. We can sit there and go, oh, De Gea, he should have saved that. And what a shocking. We can focus on De Gea. But we were by far the better team. By far. Let's not even just talk about De Gea. Let's talk about Casemiro, right? The player that everyone says Rice couldn't tie his boots and all of this stuff. Rice handled him. Handled Casemiro, right? There was great performances all over the pitch. Rashford got pocketed by Thilo Kehrer, right? The player that I've been sticking up for all season. And people have been trying to say, he's a bum, he's this, he's that. Patience, young ones, because he will come good. I'm confident.
On the 7th of May, 2023.
Yeah,
I'm so glad that you waited for it, mate. Was it worth the wait?
Yeah, damn well was worth the wait. He was good against Man City as well. And he has had to come in. He's had to play as a right wing back, a right back, a centre back in a back four, a centre back in a back five, in and out, in a team that has struggled this season in a new country, new league, and we're just gonna go, oh, write him off. He's shit. No. Same way with Paqueta. Oh, go on. What? You got something? You got something to say?
I've got something to say. I don't know why you keep saying this, playing in different positions nonsense. He was doing the exact same thing at PSG. He was playing right back at PSG and he was playing centre back at PSG. So clearly you didn't watch him at PSG. If you keep thinking that this is something that he's not had to do his career, and when he plays for Germany, when he plays for Germany, he also does the same. Sometimes he's playing right back, sometimes he's playing centre back. Kura,
I didn't just say right back, centre back. I said right wing back, right back, centre back, 5 back 4.
Kura, like any new signing, absolutely needs time, but there are clear deficiencies in his game. He's a bozo. He's late on these challenges, and he just generally doesn't really anticipate danger.
Says the guy that reps Romero, by the way.
Romero is comfortably a better defender than
He's a bozo, though. He's a bozo. He's rash and late on his challenges.
Yeah, he's got the bozo gene, but he's got the Romero's got the bozo gene, but he actually has the capacity to defend. And you've literally witnessed it firsthand because he put your so-called better than Harry Kane attacker in the muzzle last season, both games.
And Kura put Rashford.
Don't come at me with that rubbish, because I've been watching Kura before he joined West Ham. So my opinion on Kura has been like this before he joined West Ham. It's not a West Ham thing. I've never rated this guy highly because I don't think he's that good at defending. It's nothing to do with West Ham.
He defended well yesterday. He defended well, or Sunday, or whenever it was. He defended
he
well
did.
then.
And you give him his
defended well against Man City.
He did. So give him his credit for defending on Sunday. Don't start saying, "Oh, I told you." After the shit season that this guy served up, he's been crap this season. He's actually been rubbish for you.
You give him a season.
So you have no leg to stand on. He's been terrible for you this season.
I do. But most of our players have been terrible. We've been terrible this season.
So because most of your players have been terrible, that means they don't deserve criticism. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but the whole point is he's coming into a destabilized team right now. I'm just saying.
Is our team stable? Is Tottenham's team stable?
Listen, it's more stable than ours.
Is Tottenham's team stable? If the answer is no, then that invalidates any criticism you've given to any of our players.
It's more stable than our team. It's more stable though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really? More stable. I'm just saying.
It's more stable, even though you said we're in the mud and you're going to finish above us next season.
It doesn't make you any less in the mud as a club. Your club is not stable.
Exactly. You jump from one narrative to another, but I don't even want to deviate. The point I'm making is this: you can't come here on your high horse about Kura after the shit season he's had. Just praise his game.
You took it personally because you've been the biggest mouth on Kura. That's why you couldn't stand.
No, I haven't been. I actually haven't been. Potter's probably been the biggest mouth on Kura, and he's been right. He's been right to criticize him. No, I remember when you signed him. I actually said to you, I think he's average. I don't think. I've seen him play bad, but I think maybe he can be a little bit something for you. But I've watched him this season. And I said I've had enough. The guy's crap. He's crap.
All Potts has said is, "Oh, what's happening with Kura, the best right back in the league? What's happening with Paqueta, the best midfielder? What's happening with Scamacca?"
Listen, man, don't worry.
That's all he says.
You don't have to listen. You don't. I'm only doing this for your own good, but you don't have to listen to me. I'm just gonna shut up. Man.
I'm just saying.
I'll let football do what it does best. And
okay, let it do what it does. But until then, we give him time. We give him time, and he was man of the match. Yeah, and we give him his credit. We bossed Man United.
Declan Rice was man of the match.
I thought Rice was man of the match. I thought Rice was
go and think what you think. Go think what you think. Maybe
Didn't he get awarded player of the match though?
Well, I know. I think Kura got one from one place and Rice got it one from another place. So.
Is that how it works now?
Yeah, because you get like the Sky Sports man of the match. You get the West Ham match. You get different. You know,
who got Sky Sports man of the match? That's the one everyone cares about. No one cares about the West Ham Fan TV player of the match.
It was on BT, wasn't it?
West Ham
BT, sorry, was it?
Yeah, sit down, Potts. Sit down. You fucked it up.
Right? I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that. I just.
At the end of the day, well done, Pete, for sitting him down. Nice one. But right, I'm gonna say this. Yeah, we should have had 3 goals. We should have had a penalty, and Antonio's goal should have stood. Blatant dive and cheating from De Gea, and the corrupt referees again. How that wasn't handball is beyond me. Yeah, you can't move your hand like the ball's coming and you're like, oh, let me stop the ball. No, bullshit. And I'm so glad we overcame that, because if we didn't win that game, I would have gone on a rampage, man. I would have gone on a rampage. So yeah,
like your Crystal Palace one.
I can't believe that Lindelof decision, by the way. That is an
Neither can I. Honestly, I was in the pub when it happened. I was like that.
You don't even need VAR. You could see it in real time. He's literally moved his hand to try and block the ball. That's a stonewall penalty. And if West Ham somehow don't win that game, they would have every right to be aggrieved, because that's a shambolic decision.
Yeah, it was poor, man. It was poor.
Yeah,
listen, look,
as well.
You flip it. Though. I'll tell you what. On VAR, you do flip it though, because without VAR, the Arsenal Newcastle game that was given as a penalty, and that was rightly ruled out by VAR, wasn't it? The one on the Arsenal.
I don't know about that. Pete wanted it badly. That would have changed the game complete. But
Ben Rama shout out, by the way.
Lawless, do you know what? Ben Rama's has he been your best player this season, Ben Rama?
He is. I think Rice edges it, but he's up there definitely. Like, if he's not the best, he's second best this season, and he has a lot of critics in our fan base who just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. He's a quality player.
Lawless, what's happened with Skamaka on a serious note? Where is he injured again?
Yeah, injured. His season's done.
Was that the best performance of the season for you?
What, for our team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's up there. That
against the United side that's poor from away from home. I just said.
Shut up about this away from home. It's a.
Well, it is.
We're still making such a big deal about this away from home. Like, yeah, okay, there's a factor in there, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's a fucking big ass pitch with 2 goals, yeah, lines over it, and fans sitting around it. At the end of the day, let's not keep hearing about this.
I'll remind you of this, mate, with your next loss when you come for your fucking excuses. I'll remind you of this. At the end of the day, Lawless, it's a big ass pitch with 2. I'll remember, mate.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you can't keep fucking saying it. You say it once and we go, yeah, okay, take it. Yeah, we'll take that.
Fuck it, mate. How many times do you say something 100 times over and we have to sit here and go, here we go again, Lawless again,
Errol asked a genuine question and you gave a nothing answer that wasn't even required of you, right? Yes, that and the Arsenal game, 2 of our best performances of the season, definitely up there against the Man United team that are in the top 4 at the moment for now, yeah, have, you know, a lot of world-class players in their team and have this great manager that we hear about, Ten Hag. He's going to do this, he's going to do that. He won a trophy. Yeah, these are the League Cup champions, you know, that we're facing. That was away from home, Wembley. That's not at home. That's not at Old Trafford. So, yeah, we're going to take that. We're damn right we're going to take that. Well done, West Ham.
Errol, were you buzzing that West Ham won that game?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
look at that smile.
The Scousers are coming.
I'm not even gonna lie. As soon as our game finished at like 7-8 o'clock on Saturday, I was a West Ham fan through and through. I said, over to you, Lawless. See if you can do us a favour. Do you know what, though? He fully deserved to win, to be honest. He was the better team from start to finish. I think, Man U, I know, Dan, you said it for the last couple of weeks. He's tired now. I think he's run out of a little bit of steam. I think he's probably. We're
playing a left back at centre back. We have done for the last two or three weeks.
You've got, you know, Rashford's on a downturn in form. Ten Hag's had what? He's had more losses in this season than Ollie's had in both of the seasons that Ollie was
I see that stat today.
And yet he still won more cups than Ollie did in his time at Manchester United. So that's what I look at.
And that's fair. That's fine if that's how you look at it. It's just interesting to see, obviously, the Man U fans in the way that they kind of put him on this pedestal as to be the next coming of, and yet he's still in and around the riffraff that he's had for the last decade in terms of managers. So it is interesting. I think he's gonna learn very quickly that this league is relentless, and when you play as many games, because I don't think any other team's played as many games as Man U this season, when you have to play that many games season in, season out, I think it is, you're going to need a bigger squad, you're going to need more depth, you're going to need more quality, especially up top. That Tobes has been saying it for months. What is Weghorst? he's like a doorstop.
Let me ask you a question, Errol. In fact, I'll ask all of you this. Errol, was your manager backed in Europe? Was your manager backed in January to buy players?
We bought someone, yeah. We bought Gakpo.
Potts, did you buy anybody in January?
Yeah, we bought 3 players.
It's stats. Tobes, you can do that, but did you buy a player in January? 45 million, I think, yeah. Pete,
Yes,
did
we
you
did.
buy
There was a loan obligation to buy.
We relied on Weghorst and Jack Butland on loan. Okay.
Can I ask a question? How much did you spend in the summer, out of curiosity?
Almost as much as Lawless.
No, it wasn't. It was about 80 million more than Lawless. You spent 250 million. You and Chelsea were the highest spenders in the summer transfer window.
Ooh,
so, excuse me if I don't feel any sympathy for you guys blowing a chunk of your money on Anthony and spending 250 million in the summer. How can you sign? You literally signed Ericsson for free and Malacia for like 12 million and somehow spent 230 million on what, like 3 players?
And who were the 3 players, Tobes? Who were the 3 players? So Anthony,
2 of them.
Hang on, Sandro Martinez and what's his name?
And Casemiro.
Casemiro. 2 of them have been.
Who was the most expensive? Who was the most expensive?
Yeah, Anthony.
Okay, and has he been good enough for Man United?
Not at the start, no.
Okay then, and do you feel like if you were able to buy a player who could offer Man United more for less, do you not think that that spare money could have been used to try and bring in someone of a better standing in football than Weghorst in January?
If we could have, yeah, but we didn't. We didn't have a chance to.
Okay then, I rest my case.
So all this January bollocks is bollocks. What you were trying to play, this bullshit you were trying to play down about. Did you spend money in January? Did you?
Well, yeah, because we didn't. Lawless. We brought in a goalkeeper. We brought in Weghorst in a system where we were still involved in every cup competition.
Errol kills me, man.
You should be able to deal. You should like for.
Errol's just got that unimpressed face, and he's just like,
like I'm not here for these excuses. Like Tobe said it. You spent a bag of dough on some washed average player in Anthony that's not lived up to the expectation. As far as I'm concerned, from where you are right now to what you have spent at the beginning of the season, you should have been competing. You should have been playing as many games as you have. But the wheels are falling off towards the back end of the season. You've got nothing left in the tank. You've down a couple of players injury, but everyone here sitting around here is had to suffer injuries from serious players that change the dynamic of all of their squads throughout the course of this season. Before and after the World Cup, we've all had to deal with it. I think your biggest problem right now is the fact that you haven't got an out-and-out goal scorer. And
oh my God, are you sure? Oh my God, hang on a minute. Really? Is that stuns me? That stuns me that you've come up with that analysis. Wow. Jesus Christ. Unreal. Unreal. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Of course. We haven't got strikers.
It's staring everyone in the face. Of course. You were waxing lyrical about Rashford having a world-class season. He's one of the best wingers in the season or of all time the other month. And he still hasn't scored in how many games? Dan was saying
he scored against Spurs 2 games ago.
Is that his fair? That's 1 goal in how many games?
3.
1 goal in 3 games.
The last 3, I thought you were talking about.
Okay, so Dan was saying it the other day. He's haven't looked convincing since February.
I know we haven't. Yeah, I agree. But I don't understand what you want me to say to that. Okay,
Ten Hag out. Say that.
No, don't say that.
Not a chance.
Why Weghorst? Why Weghorst?
They were 2 of my questions I was going to ask. I was going to say, 1, is there genuine pressure on Ten Hag going into next season? I don't know if there is. I'm asking you that, Dan. And secondly, is there pressure on Anthony because of what Tobes and Errol have said about the amount of money that was spent on getting him in? Is there pressure on him that he has to perform? Otherwise, is there going to be?
If there's not, mate. If there's not, I agree, and I completely agree. And if there's not, then he's in the wrong sport, isn't he? Simple as that. This is where you become the player that you're going to be. It's up to him in the summer to go away and reassess and come back stronger next season. But you'd have to say this: how many goals has Nunes got in the? I'm not going at Nunes. How many has he got in the Premier League?
9.
For how much did you spend on him?
85 mil.
And you're coming at me?
He's nearly got 20 in all competitions.
Who's that?
In all competitions, are you including friendlies in that?
No, I wasn't. I was including the competitions. Friendly's not a competition by definition.
I'm going for a scout here, my man.
Oh, for a scout, he's nearly got 20 goals in all competitions.
I think he's got quite a few goals this season, to be fair.
Yes, and I'm George saying that I'm coming at Rashford. The fact of the matter is, everyone was coming at Salah the other week. Salah wasn't good enough. He hadn't hit the height. He hasn't done it. Salah's nearly got for 6 seasons on the bounce, 20 goals or more in the Premier League. His goals in the last couple of weeks are dragging Liverpool to put that pressure on.
Errol. Nunez has got 15 in 42, and one of them's a Community Shield.
Okay, so he's got nearly 20 goals.
Well, no, okay. You could say he's nearly got 10. What are you talking about?
What?
It's not 20.
Round down. You round.
Well, okay, then Rashford's got nearly fucking 30 then. Well, okay, Rashford's got nearly 30 then, if you want to do that.
No, because you're rounding you're overinflating the roundup, man. Come off here. Let's just as I say, we're not talking about a player that's. So who was you comparing?
Hang on. Rashford's got 29 goals this season, mate. So I am rounding up to 30, yeah.
Okay, Sam, take it.
Rashford's had a good year, right? But I think it's fair to say that he's dropped off. But Man United have dropped off. Like they have,
and it's as simple as that. There's nothing I can say that's going to make it sound any better. Whereas we're missing 2 centre backs, we're also missing a left back because now we're having to play Shaw at left back. Malacia or Delo is having to play at left back. You're basically missing 3 positions there, aren't you?
I still think you'll get top 4.
We were missing our right back, centre back. You know,
sorry,
I think you'll beat Wolves and Fulham at home, and it'll be done. Like
I'm not.
Liverpool, like I play them well. Don't get me wrong; they're on form.
According to Toby, we're not. According to Tobes, we're not playing well.
What do you mean?
You're not playing well. You're just getting the results. What do you mean?
So by definition,
you're not playing well. Did the Brentford game look like a good performance? Were you happy with your performance against Spurs? Were you happy with your performance against Fulham?
Did we get the job done?
All you care about is the 3 points. And
right now, I do.
Don't come in here and pretend to me that.
Because you know what? Though, right? Listen, check this.
Well, you're not playing well.
Now, check this. When it comes to crunch time, all of you lads around the table right now are shit in the bed. Don't chat to me about not playing well. Hey.
Come to me.
God, Errol. Honestly, you've been such a cool Liverpool fan all season. You get a run together, and that's it. It's the glory days are back.
We're not shit in the bed. We're still.
Errol, in the games, you got 3 games left, right?
Yeah.
Is there any team that you're worried about that you could potentially drop points on? Because you have to win all 3 of those games.
Yes, we do. We have to prepare.
And to be fair, in my mind, I had Villa as well. I think Villa. I've also got Leicester. Leicester need to hit back.
And Leicester have got a good record against Liverpool at their place.
Someone mentioned that.
And it's at the king power. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win the game, but they might look to make it difficult because any point is a good point for
that doesn't undermine Errol's point that you're shit in the bed, though, Pete. He was right.
I'm not shit in the bed. Not at all.
I kind of agree with Errol.
It wasn't even meant to sound on the nose.
I've got no reason to shit the bed.
But what Tobes is saying about not playing well, it doesn't matter how well you play when it comes to crunch time. Crunch time is all about the results. If you could do your job when it comes to this point in the season, what will you remember? Will you remember how well you played, or remember what you've achieved come the end of it? Be honest though, and that's not even a banter thing, and that's not about a Spurs, that's not about a Man U, that's not about Arsenal, that's not about a Newcastle. That's just the reality of football. When it comes to crunch time, and it's about those clutch moments in a season, you're not going to remember how well you perform. Like Real Madrid.
I agree.
Let me land on this. Real Madrid did not play well. Real Madrid did not play well in that Champions League final last season. Will they remember their performance, or will they remember the fact that they won the trophy?
Wait. Sorry.
Deep it though.
Real Madrid were good.
What do you mean?
Courtois was good. Courtois was good in the final last season.
Courtois was good.
Danny Carvajal was good.
So was the defense. Casemiro locked down the majority of your midfielders that day. So please, don't come here and say that Real Madrid didn't play well in the final. That's a myth. Real Madrid deserved to win that final.
Casemiro proved why he was the world's best.
Nobody has said that your results don't matter. I get it. It's the business end of the season. Your results don't matter. But when I'm watching a game of football, I'm not saying, Liverpool didn't deserve to win that game. All I'm saying is, Liverpool still look poor here. Yes, you're winning these games now because you're beating teams I expect you to beat. But my point is, it may not bode well for next season if you don't make the right adjustments. If you don't make the right adjustments, it may not bode well for next season, because looking at results-based analysis over a performance-based analysis can only stretch for so long. That's the point I'm making. When I'm watching you guys play now, I'm not seeing a different side to the side I've seen this season. The only difference is you're playing weaker opposition. I'm not seeing a different side. I didn't see a different Liverpool when you played us. I didn't see a different Liverpool when you played Fulham. I didn't see it.
Do you know how many times we've been behind within the first 15 to 20 minutes of games this season? The amount of times that we've been behind 1s and 2-0 before 20 minutes.
Performance, bro.
Yeah, the performance against you, we were 3-0 in 20 minutes.
I'm talking about your performance over 90 minutes.
How is that not different? No, but actual, factually, how is that not different?
I'm not comparing you to some crazy team. I'm comparing Liverpool to you.
To Liverpool?
I'm comparing literally you to last season. I don't see.
I'm comparing us to this season.
You are still forward effective. You still give up chances, right?
Yes, we
still give up chances. Yes. You still don't control games, right? Even with Trent in the midfield, I still think you're not. Who's playing out his skin? I still don't think you have a full grip of matches. I don't. And then even up top, I don't see you as ruthless. I don't see you as ruthless. So why is it wrong for me to say these things? It's observations. It doesn't mean that you're crap. It just means that you're not playing well. I don't get it.
Tobes, can I add to that, Tobes, as well? Tobes, can I add to that? 4 of their last 5 wins, you've had home games. Okay, so that Kop crowd carries you through. You say that, you've been saying that all season. You've got away games coming up. You've only won 5 away games all season.
2 away games left. Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying here? Okay, and you coming at me before saying that United, could throw this away and blah 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 blah. You've literally just said that at the end of the season's when it matters, when you look back, blah 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 blah. So it goes for all of us here, mate. You draw at the weekend and we win. We go 4 points clear with a game in hand. That changes the whole dynamic of this. Of course
it does. But haven't I not said it for weeks now? We have to be flawless. If we're flawless, that means it has to hold both of your teams, respectively, Newcastle and Man U, accountable. It holds you to the highest standard as possible at this late stage in the season. I personally said for a while I think it's too late for us, but the least we can do is be flawless from then till the end of the season. If that happens, it's all on you. The pressure is on you to then continue to perform to a level above what Liverpool have done. The point that, again, I'm trying to say to a couple of you lads here is, I get what Toby's saying. I understand you're comparing Liverpool from right now to Liverpool last season, but I've been telling Liverpool fans for time, that's gone. The only thing we can compare ourselves to is what we've done so far this season. And so far in games this season, we've lacked that control. The likes of Fabinho has been just so bad for us this season. He's looked a shadow of himself. We've been too easy to get at. We still are a little bit too easy to get at. We give teams goals and give chances for fun. It's always like we're already starting a game 1 or 2-0 down. But there have been moments in the last couple of weeks where we've shown a different side to us. And I don't want to compare it to last season's side. I want to compare it to what I've seen this season. And we've not scored 3 goals in 20 minutes against any team this season from within the first 20 minutes of the game. So that is something that I haven't seen, and that's an observation. You can't take that away from this Liverpool side. At that moment, for those first 25, 30 minutes, we played out of our skin. Performance-wise, the levels were too high for Spurs to live with. You've got yourself back into that game. Well done.
Amazing. I didn't realise football was a 30-minute game now. Amazing.
It's not a 30-minute game. Okay, but it can be a 96-minute game. And if you start taking your top off after 89 minutes and thinking the game's done, you're going to get
Okay then. Exactly. You just said it. It's a 96-minute game. It's a 96-minute game. And you can shit on Richarlison however you want. I don't even care.
I will shit on them.
I'm talking about from I don't care. I don't care. I'm talking about your performance. Your performance over 90
Errol
minutes.
Chose violence tonight.
A good slide. I don't see it. I don't see it.
That's fine.
Simple.
You don't see a good side any week that you watch football.
You know what's crazy? I'm saying the exact same thing.
Lawless just sat there watching.
And you're crying.
You lot make me sick. How do we go from talking about how great West Ham are to fucking Liverpool? How do we get here?
You know what it is with Liverpool fans? You know what it is Liverpool fans? They're so obnoxious. They're so pompous. They can't stand the fact that teams that they were gazumping like Spurs. They can't stand that fans of teams like Spurs can actually say with conviction, my guy, you are shit. You're shit. You're actually shit.
You can't say that though. You can't. Like, let's.
This season
I can say
that. Liverpool have been
say
shit.
that.
Absolutely,
you can't say that. You can't say that. Have some respect, big man. Big man, have some respect. You're sitting around the team and talking about a team with football heritage, and you want to chat about where shit. Well, I want to talk about this shit.
All right, cool. Man United, who you put 7 past. You've got a worse defensive record than them. Yet you're here shitting on Dan. And you're telling me I can't say that.
We still got a better goal difference than them. No, we've got a better goal.
You've got 29 strikers. I should fucking know.
Of course, you have more goals. You've got more attackers.
So there we go. And
so there we go. What?
We've got a better goal. So in the event that we end up on the same points, we'll get champions.
You agreed with me. You agreed that you're not playing well. You said it doesn't matter. All that matters is the results. And I said fair. But I said over next season, results-based analysis, it's not going to get you far. That's what I said. What I said. But
and you know, so because you did it start the season.
I've seen you next season.
Look at the shuffle from Harold. Look at the dance.
Yeah, shake your shoulders and go on. Shake your shoulders.
I'll see you next season. My God, I love it.
Oh man, love this, man. Love this. Listen, before we wrap up with Newcastle Arsenal, let's just get it out of the way. This Declan Rice thing has to be spoken about quickly because, my God, 121 million, Lawless, and everyone's losing their heads. I said it yesterday and I say it today. 121 million is crazy. But for me, you can see why my West Ham are going to ask for that money when you look at all the craziness that's happening in the market at the moment. 100 million for Grealish, 100 million for Anthony, 115 million for Enzo Fernandez, 100 million for Lukaku, Pogba's, Pepe's, Havertz. The list goes on, man. You're not going to get 120 million. I think West Ham fans know that, but they're asking for that because that then allows them to get more than what they were. They priced him 120. Doesn't mean he's worth that. Not for me, anyway. That's madness. For me, 120 million pounds to be worth that for Declan Rice, he has to be literally one of the best central midfielders there's ever been for that money, right? And I'm not sure that he is there yet. I think his ceiling's massive still. I rate him. I like him a lot. And I think that if you was to ask me how much I think he's probably worth, I would say you've got to be looking at realistically 75 pushing to 80 for a player who, for me, as an England international at 24 years old, would come into any top 4 side and make them better. I think that's fair. But when you start talking about 120 million, it's crazy. I'm going to let you go last, Lourdes, on this one because everyone will have an opinion on it. And you can just listen to this and then start firing guns at it if you believe that's the way you want to do it. Pete, let's start with you, bruv. 120 million for Rice. Newcastle, are they going to pay that? They've got the money now.
Not a chance. Not a chance. I missed this chat earlier. I just see my phone just blare up constantly while I was teaching. I was like, what the hell is going on? And I look back and there is no way Declan Rice is going for 121 million. To be fair, Mark Taylor's put in the chat. He's got 1 year left on his contract. There is no way.
It's 2 years with an option of a third.
There's an option. But what I'll throw out there is that it's very, very clear that Declan Rice wants to leave. That he wants to leave this summer. And there has to be a conversation at some point with the owners to say, look, I've done my time. I've stayed longer than I anticipated. Let me get the move. It's a little bit like Harry Kane. It might be a similar situation with Harry Kane in the summer. He stayed longer than he anticipated. He wants to move on. And I genuinely think it'll be a deal around 80 million. They'll get rising to 100, depending on appearances and trophies and all the rest of it that will accumulate to. I think that's more of a realistic deal.
I agree.
Will Newcastle pay that money? We won't pay that money. I'll be honest. There's better value out there in the market. There's a
Newcastle don't spend big.
There's a Kefram Turam out there that's got the potential to be huge that you could get for maybe 40 million. and he's what 21 years old. His ceiling is probably just as
Who's
high.
that? Sorry, who's that?
From Thuram from Nice.
Oh,
just
sorry.
got in the French squad. You could get him for 40 million, and his ceiling is just as high as Declan Rice's, if not higher, with his potential. You've got Ugarte at Sporting Lisbon. Arsenal have been looking at him. We've been looking at him too. Again, his ceiling is just as high. There are players out there that actually, if you look at it far and wide, that you don't need to spend that sort of money on Declan Rice. What you get with Declan Rice as an English player with potential, 25 years old, loads of gas left in the tank with regards to his ceiling to be high. Great, but it's the English tax. Do you want to really be paying that sort of money when there's players out there in Europe that you could spend less on and could potentially do even better? I don't know. And that's just not from a Newcastle point of view. That's from a general.
I hear it. Topes, 120 million.
It's too much money for Declan Rice. It's way too much money. I completely hear Pete's point, but I think teams that would be willing to pay close to the 100 million mark for Declan Rice would be paying for someone who comes in and hits the ground running. There's no question mark on what he can do in this league because he's been doing it for the last 3-4 years. The only difference is now he'll be doing it at a team who allows him to be a bit more expressive on the ball, right? The teams who will be more ball dominant. So you could even see a further evolution of Declan Rice. So I think it can go both ways, but ultimately I do hear Pete's point of view. Like Declan Rice is class, but there are class midfielders out there in world football who you can get without having to pay the price that you'd have to pay for Declan Rice.
Dan?
Yeah, I think it's only going to be teams stupid enough to pay that sort of money, but that's not me saying I don't think right. Yeah, no, Lawless, if you'd let me finish, mate, I was exactly about to say that, like Manchester United. Is he worth 120? No, but is it good what West Ham are doing? Yeah, they want to get as much as they can for their man. I heard that they also said 100 million and a player. I still think it would be what Pete's saying, maybe 8 million and a player if he does do that. But the interesting thing for me that I heard was obviously to a Champions League club only. So does that rule Chelsea out? Because I know obviously he's a Chelsea boy. Does that shut the door on Chelsea? I don't know.
Chelsea don't need him. They got their Declan Rice when they signed Enzo Fernandez.
I don't think they will go. I don't think Chelsea will actually go in for him now.
You can't afford him this window as well, as things currently stand.
But they can sign him to a 20-year contract or whatever they're doing.
No, they've stopped that. They've stopped it, mate. FIFA have come in and stopped that. You can't do
that now. Can't do that now. Errol, I left you to last before Lawless for a reason because you were going at it in the chat earlier with Lawless about how 120 million is a disgrace and blah blah blah. So the mic's yours, bruv.
No, I don't even need to blow up too much. Everyone else has articulated it perfectly. I don't particularly think he is worth that. Are West Ham within their rights to ask for that? That's absolutely fine. They can do what they want. They can run their football club how they see fit. They have that relationship with the player and they can put him out on the market for whatever price they want. In footballing terms, is Declan Rice a £120 million player? Absolutely not. He's not right now. He hasn't been for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever. And will he be? That is still yet to be. That's the unknown quantity as far as I'm concerned. I'll piss Lawless off and leave it this way. If Declan Rice is worth 120 mil, how much would a Steven Gerrard been worth in this day and age at 24?
And how long ago was Steven Gerrard playing? Literally,
I'm just saying at this day and age, at 24, how much would he have been worth?
But it's
you can say that about loads of players.
No, I know, but I'm just pissing Lawless off, not you, so you can pipe down.
Lawless. It's such a nonsense. Exactly. It's such a nonsense question. It pissed everyone off. So let's just.
Why is everyone so triggered tonight? Are you?
Honestly,
you're triggering everyone, Errol.
Lawless. I will say this, mate. I think if United get the Qataris in, I think he would come. I think he will come to United if we've got Champions League. That's where I see him going.
I think there's a few. I think there's a few.
If we get the Qataris, Errol, if we get the Qataris, I think he comes to United.
I think there's a few of us that would be sniffing. Well, I think they'll be sniffing around him, but I think there's a few he could go to. I do think that he would be interested in Arsenal. I do think he would be interested in Newcastle. I think he would be interested in Manchester United. I think if Liverpool had the money, I think he would be interested there as well. So I think I really don't know where he's going to go, if I'm honest with you. I hope it's Arsenal because I really like him. I think he'd be perfect for what we need. But it's going to be difficult if he is going to be 120 million. That's going to be hard for anyone. Dan?
Someone just put something in there that's made me think. Lawless, would you accept money and Calvin Phillips for him from City?
Calvin Phillips.
That's the other team.
Injury prone.
Definitely.
Yeah, you would. He's
Hell
injury
no.
prone, but if you can keep him fit, he's a good player, man.
Yeah, but that's a big if, isn't it? It's a big if.
That's a good replacement as well, in my
Yeah, that's
opinion.
what I just saw in the chat there. That's something
Yeah,
to.
if
How much
he
is
can
that
stay
worth,
fit.
though? How much?
Who,
is he
Phillips?
No, Phillips. Right.
Oh,
how
right.
much is
So
actually
about
worth?
75, about 80 million. He's not.
but
It's the
what's
English
the
tax,
point
like
in-
Pete said. It's the
Yeah,
English
but
tax.
exactly. Like, what's the point? What's the point in saying what any player's worth? Was Nunes worth what the fuck they paid for him? Well, evidently not. But they paid it, so that's all that matters, isn't it? How much did Liverpool pay? Was it 90 million, 100 million? How much is he worth? Half that.
Was it 64 and then 85?
Yeah, it goes up
That's
to
how all
85.
transfers go. You always count the overall fee.
Of course.
Pogba, whatever. We can talk about Maguire, but they didn't just slap down 80 mil on Maguire. But we all say 80 million, and he wasn't worth 80 million. He's worth like a third, a fourth of that. 10 or something. But he went for that. So that's what matters. So we can sit there and try and like really hypothesize, well, how much is he worth market value? But it's pointless because the market is the market, right? And that's the way it goes. You can look at, like I said to you, with houses, the market is way overblown. But that's the way it is. You can't go and sit there and go, well, how much is this house actually worth?
Do you not think that Rice is going to have a say in this? Do you not think that Rice is going to say, you know what, I've done my time.
Of course he is.
We're not fucking prison. What do you mean? He's under contract.
No.
I'm not thinking that West Ham have all the power.
I'm not disrespecting you in that, Lawless, but what I'm saying is that West Ham have set out their stall. They've said today that they want a certain amount of money from him from a Champions League club. They clearly see him as a Champions League player. He clearly sees himself as a Champions League player. So therefore, does he want to, in all due respect, be a West Ham team that, yes, could be playing European football next season in Europa League, but could still be struggling in the league again? And maybe, I'm not saying you are, but maybe be in and around that mid-table again. Does he really want to be in that fight? Is he not ready in his mind to go, you know what? I want to be fighting for titles. I want to be fighting in the Champions League at the top end of the Champions League. I want to be there. And at some point, his love for West Ham that he's clearly got love for West Ham.
He's not going to be told by West Ham, right, this is where you're going, Declan. You're going to be playing for Liverpool next season. And he might turn around and go, I don't want to. Of course he's going to. He's going to say where I'd like to go. These are the offers coming in.
But there's got to be an agreement. There's got to be an agreement between Rice and the board. There's got to be Rice and the board have got to have spoke about this. There's got to be a price that they've agreed on, isn't there?
Listen, this is how it's going to fucking work, right? Let's be honest, yeah. All this, I don't want to go here, I don't want to go there. We get an offer of, say, I don't know, 110 million or whatever from Man United. We get an offer of 80 million from Liverpool. We're going to accept the Man United offer. He can't. If he comes and goes, well, I'd rather go Liverpool. Well, we go, fuck you. They ain't offered us enough money. If they stump up the money we want, you go Liverpool. But as it stands, either, you can reject Man United, but doesn't mean we're going to take the Liverpool offer because this Liverpool offer is not enough. That's how it goes. Like all this talk, he can say, I'm a Champions League player. I'm a this, I'm a that. Doesn't mean he can dictate the price.
Whoever wins the most money is going to get, going to obviously be. But he's got to agree it as well. They can't say, well, you're not going. It's either he's not going here. He's got to say, well, I want to go. Otherwise, he ain't going to go, is he?
But what I just said, Potts, was he can reject Man United if you don't want them. But if they're the highest bidder, doesn't mean we're going to take the lowest bidder just because he would rather go there. The lower bidder has to match our valuation.
Yeah. As Potter said, I don't think he rejects any of these teams that we just mentioned. No. I think he'd be happy to.
No, I'm making an example of what
we don't have to match. We don't have to match your valuation. To be fair, you
got to remember, Lawless.
But we don't have to accept your valuation.
You got to remember, Lawless.
So what would you rather do then? So your board, as a business, are they going to allow a player to become disgruntled, and I eventually say,
He's
you know
not.
what?
This
No,
is
no,
all
no.
shots and maybes.
No, yeah, it's buts and maybes, but we're
Let me
talking.
land.
So
Let me land.
so while we're talking about it, let me land. If from a business perspective, if say he's got a year with the option, he doesn't want to take on the option. So next season,
He has no choice on the option.
He's got no choice of the option. So why is it called an option?
Our option. It's our
club option. It's club
Okay,
option.
that's so the club option, right then. So say he's got 2 years then, right? And then he's gonna so it's 120 mil this year, and you don't take any bids, you don't take any offers. He doesn't want to go for the 120 mil. So he goes into his last year. You take out the option into his last year. He's no longer worth 120 mil. Fact or not fact?
Yeah, it's going to go down, of course.
Okay,
It's going to go down.
so if it goes down, and then so you've already lost out on what it was potentially the 80, the 70, whatever the offer was, cash up front, and then it goes down to the point where he's like, well, do you know what? I may as well run down my contract now. So you could potentially lose 120 million pounds worth of the player, all because of your Lawless's pride and Lawless's logic to not adjust the value of the player to go at the right time.
But you're trying to do what Kane did with City. Kane and City, they're trying to do that.
Times.
Say that
You're
again.
all behind the times of football. You're all behind the times. You're stuck in the past. You're relics. You're dinosaurs. So you haven't realized the game has changed. The game has moved on. Back in like 15 years ago, listen, back about 15 whatever years ago, right? Clubs like West Ham, and Palace and all them clubs had to take these offers from the clubs up there because we needed it financially. We weren't getting the big TV money.
You don't need 120 mil.
For the run. Listen, no, we don't need it. We don't need it to survive. We don't need it to balance our books. Would we like it? Would it be great to have 120 million? Yes. Do we need 100? If we don't get 120 million, are we going to be struggling financially? Are we going to have to do a fire sale with our players? No. That's the point.
Someone's getting fired. I'm not asking. I'm not asking.
Look at Zaha.
Someone's getting fired. If you lose 120 mil out of your company's bank, you are getting fired in the morning.
No, that's ridiculous. That's not how football goes. Look at Zaha. Look at Zaha, right? It's a perfect example. Palace makes so much less money than we make, right? Mm-hmm. But they've priced Zaha out of move after move after move. He's going to be available potentially for a free in the summer. Right? Are they going to sit there and go, well, you've cost us the 60 million that this team offered us 3 years ago. You've cost us that. No, because what he has meant to that club and what he has contributed to that club over the years, they will look at it and say, that's worth it at the end of the day. Like what he has done.
Throw a spanner in the works. Just lastly,
not the same caliber of player. When Zaha was linked 2 years ago to Arsenal, and it looked like Arsenal were going to come in for him. They were pricing him out at like 60 million. You're pricing Declan Rice at 120. That's a very, very different type of fee.
No, because they still priced him out. But the point is, like I said, they make less money than us. What I'm saying is the teams around down. That's why the market value is going up. And when you look and you see with Brighton players and all that, when Errol tries to go for Brighton players, we don't need the money the way we used to need the money.
It's not about the money, though, Lawless. I'm not talking about the money. Like the money we've already discussed. What I'm talking about now is the player. You're making a player unhappy because you're not allowing him to move.
You're all hypothesizing over the character.
But if he doesn't get his move, is he going to double down and do what Errol says and go, you know what, fuck West Ham. I'm going to see out this year because I have to, not because I want to, and I'm going to fuck off on a free.
Well, if he fucks off on a free, he's going to fuck off on a free. But you lot, the way you lot talk is like you actually, you lot talk like you know Declan Rice. You lot talk like you know Declan Rice. Do you think you know Declan Rice more than West Ham fans know Declan Rice? I can say with confidence. Yeah, and I can speak to the character of Declan Rice. If he does not move this summer, he's going to carry on, get his head down, and play his football. Right? That's what Declan Rice.
Everybody said that.
Yeah, fucking Ronaldo
says that about every one of those players.
What I'm trying to say is, Lawless, that players' opinions fucking change. Okay,
no, but look at Harry Kane. Yeah, Harry Kane went through, and Rice, I think, is not as is going to wobble like Harry Kane wobbled, but Harry Kane had a bit of a wobble, right? Didn't get his move in the end. What did he do? He got back to the playing, stuck his head down, scored his goals, done his job, right? That's what you do, like professionals like that, right? He's not a petulant, type of player.
But I actually agree, and
I
but
agree
he
as well.
does want to go.
I
He
don't
does
think
want to
Rice is
go.
down in tools.
Like,
Sorry,
it's
go on.
clear he wants to go. He's not going to stay there. If he said, "Do you want to stay at West Ham for another 2 seasons? We're going to extend your deal." He's going to go, bloody hell, at 26, I'll go, go on then. I'll be a good professional. He's going to go, no, man, I want to go. I've already done my time here. You ain't going to win nothing. I want to go and win a Champions League or a Premier League or go and compete with
They
major
ain't
honours.
fucking winning that.
No, he will say that, but if the club give him no choice but to stay, I don't think he's the type to down tools. I don't think he's the type to down tools. I think he'll get on with the job at hand and he'll leave when the club are ready to sell him, or he'll leave on a free transfer.
We'll see. I was told by a friend today. He knows somebody
Oh,
within
here we
the
go. Here we
club
go.
at West
This
Ham.
fucking friend of yours. That
No. He does. And I don't know if it's bollocks. I haven't got a clue. I don't care. I don't ask him for information because I don't care. But this was about Rice, so I was interested in this. He said last summer, West Ham are going to spend massive amounts of money in the summer. And he was like, they never do it. When was the last time they spent 170 million? Everyone was shocked. And they said the reason they're going to do it is because Declan Rice is going to go the following summer and they're hoping to recoup a lot of that money back.
We're going to spend big in this summer as well.
We'll see. If it happens and he goes and you get 100 odd million back, then it would make sense as to why he spent 170 million. And apparently you're not going to be spending that much in the summer from what he reckons. So we'll see. Unless you win this conference panorama cup thing.
Let's get all this. If Declan Rice goes anywhere but Arsenal, your mate is in the mud. Yeah. If we don't spend a lot of money,
he's not said he's going to Arsenal.
He did.
That's not him. That's not him.
All right. Well, oh shit, you got a lot of mates that will be in the mud.
No. He was not a West Ham fan. Errol knows him. Errol knows the guy who said that.
What? Either way,
Declan Rice is going to Arsenal.
Well, right, that guy will be in the mud. If we don't spend a lot of money in the summer, that guy's going to be in the mud. You need to block these guys, because
I will if they. I won't take this shit seriously if all this happens. But it's up in the air at the moment.
We got to keep these receipts. Toad, set up a new notes. Yeah, you need to make these notes, mate.
Toby doesn't care for that crap.
I only care for mudding you, bro.
All right, well, listen, I'll make some notes. I'm mudding Potts's fucking anonymous mate.
You do it, mate. You make some notes about it. That's fine. It's getting late, man. We need to wrap this up. Arsenal, Newcastle. Errol, I think you're on mute, but I think you're saying you got to shoot.
I'm gonna
you go, brother. You go, brother. In a bit, man. In a bit.
Peace, yeah.
Love, man. Love. Errol chose violence tonight, man. Pete, it was a convincing performance. It was basically one-way traffic. It should have been 8-0. No, I'm joking. Bro, it was actually a good game. And I said to you on your preview, I thought that we would lose. I wasn't saying that for reverse psychology. I genuinely believed that we would lose. I know Tobes did. I think Lawless and Dan both said that Newcastle would probably beat Arsenal. And in the first 5 minutes when you hit the post and Ramsdale to make a save, I thought, here we go. The atmosphere was electric, as it always is. I spoke to Judges tonight because we did a show on his, and he said like that place is absolutely amazing now. Like, it's crazy. And to be fair to him, he's been a long time. And he said during the Ashley and the Bruce era, it was as well, but it weren't quite as much that is now. And he also said that apparently the people that chucked their season tickets in have been asked if they want them back by the club. Now, that's fucking classy, by the way, if that has happened. That's what Judges has heard, that they've come out, your board and owners, and said, right, I know it was bad under Ashley. I know a lot of you have thrown your tickets in. They've all been contacted, apparently, by the club saying, if you do want them back, let us know. Blah, blah, blah. Bizarre if that is true, but great, to be fair, that they're actually hanging on to the fans that they've probably looked and thought, Christ, this guy's had a season ticket for 60 years and he's 5 years ago handed it in. Now he can't get back on it. They're trying to do something about that. Don't know if you know anything about that. But for me, it was a game that I wasn't expecting. I thought our performance was great. It gave me it installed a lot of belief of the mentality of this side that I've questioned over the last few games in particular, but also at away games at big grounds this season that he had in the Old Trafford and even at Anfield where we threw away a lead. We haven't been able to come away with a W. And I think for us to do that against a side that are on fire, that smashed teams there this season by quite some distance, I was impressed with Arsenal, man. And it wasn't an easy game. Ramsdale made some unbelievable saves. You hit the bar, you hit the post, and you had your chances. But I do think we deserve the win, man. So I wanted to get your thoughts, bro.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I was impressed with Arsenal as well. I was there at the game. Honestly, I wanted to go to that game so much because I knew there was going to be like the atmosphere. Last year, all the Newcastle fans talked about it when we beat you last season. The atmosphere of that stadium was just electric, and I wanted to experience it. And honestly, going into that stadium, I've never experienced anything like it. Been to many stadiums, many a Newcastle game over the years, 30 years, and I've never experienced anything like that. The atmosphere was electric; it was unreal. But Arsenal really impressed me. They showed a side to them that I did not expect to see. And they showed that grit, they showed that determination, they had a bit of aggression about themselves. But I have to say, up until the penalty decision, I thought we were the better side. First 5-10 minutes, whatever it was, we looked like the team that was going to score the first goal. Obviously, I've not really watched it back, but I couldn't tell from where I was sitting. I was on the halfway line whether it was a penalty or not. But that changed the game because at that point, it allowed you guys to get a breather. It allowed you to regroup. Those 2 or 3 minutes, it checked the VAR. And when the decision changed, it changed the mindset of the fans. It changed our players. And you guys took full advantage of it. And from that point, you were the better team. I have to say, Martin Odegaard, Jesus Christ, what a player, man. Honestly, he is a super, super talent. And I was really,
he was
really
outstanding.
Yeah, you watch a player on TV, and you see that they do some good, but on TV you don't get to see always what they do off the ball and when the camera's not necessarily on them. But the positions he picks up, the holes, everything was brilliant. But in the flip side to that, I was pleased. I was actually pleased with what I seen from long parts from Newcastle. I thought we did take the game to you guys. We continued to push. It was a great game of football to watch. Continued to push you. We continued to create chances. We hit the post twice. I think we hit the bar as well. You guys did the same. And we went toe-to-toe with you guys, which is what I love to see from this new Newcastle team. We're not afraid to go toe-to-toe with some of the best teams in the league. And for me, I saw a different side to Newcastle as well. And it showed me that we're, in the long run, that we're in a position to fight at the top end of the table, long term. Although we didn't win, you guys deserved to win. You got the goals that made the difference. It did fill me with a lot of confidence. You're probably going to ask me about Champions League and whether it's dented our hopes. Not at all.
No.
The one thing in my mind is that we're still in control of our own destiny. We've got Leeds away, Brighton at home, Leicester at home. I fully expect us in the next 3 games to wrap up Champions League. And if
you got someone else as well, Pete. I mean, you got 4 games left.
Then we've got Chelsea last game of the season. But I genuinely believe that we will wrap it up before the end of the season, before that Chelsea game. And if we don't, then maybe we don't deserve to get Champions League. But at the end of the day, as I said to you boys, we're only 1 point away from confirming Europa League football. I wouldn't have expected that to start the season. And some people will say
it's funny. Danny Murphy actually last night on Match of the Sunday night on Match of the Day, he sort of said how far have these two teams come in 1 year, and I thought that was really interesting because everyone was sucking up Arsenal, but actually he's right. Newcastle as well. Like I never ever thought you would get top 4. Like when I invited you onto this show, it's because you were pushing for 7th, 6th. Now you just kept going, and I thought, wow, man, Newcastle are flying. And I've been impressed with you this season. I thought it was a really good result. I thought it was a very, very. I didn't expect it. Everybody I spoke to said Newcastle were beating Arsenal. Arsenal were losing this one. Remember last year, everything was pointing towards Newcastle winning. We went on the best of form. We just got smashed at the Etihad. And beating a very, very poor Chelsea side. So I had no confidence going into this game. But for me, it was it's mad to me as well, right? Because a few weeks ago, everyone said it will be Chelsea, Newcastle, and City where Arsenal lose the league. Unfortunately, we'd lost it before those 3 games to West Ham and Southampton. It's mad
Chelsea?
For me. It's mad.
Nah.
Say again?
Chelsea.
Yeah, we have West Ham and Southampton.
Newcastle and City, I get, but not Chelsea. Not them.
Yeah. This was way back when the fixtures come out when Chelsea were nowhere near as bad. But yeah, for me, I looked at those 3 games at the start of the season and thought, that's a tough April, May. That really is. But it's worked out well to get 6 points from that, and to drop points. It's West Ham and Southampton is just, for me, gutting. But listen, 1 point behind City now. We see what happens. We go. I wanted to ask you quickly though, Pete, and Eddie Howe's comments are a bit odd, man. So like, he was basically slating the way that Arsenal had prepared for that game. It was as if, to me, it was like, did you forget what you did at the Emirates? You did exactly the same thing at the Emirates, and we came and Arteta preps to him. We actually made it hard for Newcastle, kept trying to stop break-up play, time waste. That was basically what Newcastle did at the Emirates. 43 minutes was in play at the Emirates. So I didn't quite understand them comments. I thought it was a bit of a weird thing to say when he basically did the same thing at the Emirates.
I understood the comments 100% because from Eddie Howe's perspective, he got pelters for what he did at the Emirates, and he got absolutely hammered for us being this time wasting team. But what it was shown, look, I've got no issue with it. I've got no issue with it, and the reason why I've got no issue with it is because every team does it. And it's different for different teams. So, lowly, plucky Newcastle in January were seen as Mark Taylor's quite put it. He's put it every time since that game, anti-football, right? And I love Mark. He comes on loaded all the time. He's a great guy.
A great lad.
And we were dubbed as anti-football and negative football. But every team does it. But when an Arsenal do it, and they did it, and I've got no issue with it on Sunday, it was seen as game management. So the point that I think Eddie Howe was making, and the reason why he was saying it is because actually he was ridiculed for doing it, but everyone's talking about Arteta doing it and being great game management. So the point
did he say it like that though, or did he moan that Arsenal were the way that Arsenal were playing?
Did he say he didn't moan about it?
Arsenal did it.
All he said in his press conference, because I watched it, he talked about the fact that he would have liked the ball in game a lot more often. And that's what he talked about. He wasn't disrespectful to Arsenal in any way. He didn't bemoan the fact that they time wasted. He didn't even mention the word time wasted or anything in his press conference. But he said he would have liked the ball in game more often. It was game management. Every team does it. Every team does it. And this is the point that I think he's making, is that he's making the point that Arteta made after the game at the Emirates. Now, yeah, you guys won the game. That's absolutely fine. But the point he's making is that nobody can moan about it anymore because we know now that every team does it. And it's not time wasting. It's now considered game management after Sunday. So therefore, everyone needs to refer to it as game management because every team and every single team on this panel, every team in the Premier League have done it at some point. But for us, for some reason, we got ridiculed for it. And look, I surprised.
I think it was more of a shock, if I'm honest. I think because Newcastle
was I surprised that Arsenal did it on Sunday? I was, because I wasn't expecting it from you. You guys have thrown it out there. Some people have said on social media, we won off the back of us doing it. That's different. Well, yeah, maybe, but you've got to remember, we're doing this with Jacob Murphy in our team. We're doing it with players that should be nowhere near Champions League level, and we're doing it with a far lesser quality.
No, I get that. So I think the thing is, when you did it at the Emirates, I think people were shocked that Newcastle did it. Now, looking back, we shouldn't have been. But Newcastle, I went for like a 3-2 prediction. I was like, Newcastle would come at us, all guns made in. They're good enough. They're going to give us a go. And when it was like playing like Stoke used to against us, I was like, oh, fair play. I didn't expect it. But
you do it yourself. So that's what I'm saying. Arsenal fans.
No, I've just said is putting we have done it. Chat that Newcastle did it.
You did it against us.
From when
we have done it. I'm not saying we don't do it.
From when Jacob Murphy hit the post on Sunday, from that goal kick straight afterwards, Ramsdale was doing it. So the fact that Smokey Settings has said we did it from the start of the game, so did Arsenal. They were doing it from the start of the game. There's no difference. It's game management. It's the way it's been done. I've got no issue with it. But what I'm saying is that I'm not moaning about it because it's part of the game. So nobody else should moan about it when a team does it against you. That's my point.
Fair play, man. Fair play.
Pete, who's the assistant manager?
Oh, Mad Dog Tyndall. Love him. I love him.
Oh, he's
Absolute
everywhere, isn't he? He's
legend.
everywhere, that bloke.
Hey,
By the way, did you
perfect.
see that?
It's
Arsenal
perfect.
fans-
You know what he does? He does. So, for example, everyone shits on Arteta. Everyone has a go at Arteta because he's animated. He's there and he's in front of fourth officials and he's there and he's having a go at referees. Mad Dog Tyndall. That's what his role is. Assistant manager. He does that stuff. And Eddie Howe sits back and organises his team.
Mad Dog Tyndall.
He's Mad Dog. He's a Mad Dog because and you know what? Everyone's been talking about him now. We noticed it from the first game of the season against Forest. He's been doing it since he came to the club. He's been
everywhere.
a Mad Dog. He's been a Mad Dog for a year. He's
Everywhere.
been well known for it. He's an absolute top guy, legend, absolute legend at the club. Fans love him because
Fair play, man. You're gonna love that.
Pressure off
His
the manager.
passion. Yeah.
Takes the pressure off the manager. He does the stuff that Arteta's and the Klopps and all the rest of it get ridiculed for. He does that, takes the complete pressure off Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe can focus on what he needs to do on the pitch. It's spot on. That's why they're such a great team. He was the same when he was at Bournemouth.
Yeah, man, he is mad. He is mad. Look at this. Like, Newcastle fans going to come for me in the chat now. Crikey, look at this. Unbelievable.
What happened with the Arsenal fan? You got beaten up in the Newcastle.
Yeah, I didn't see the video. They're saying
there was a few Arsenal fans that got chucked out of St James's, and the reason why there was punches thrown is because the Arsenal fan threw punches first.
He launched a bottle or something. I heard.
Yeah,
I don't know about the bottle.
The family area.
In order for him to get punched, he was throwing punches back, and the worst thing about it is that it was in the family enclosure, so there were young kids there. So because he kicked off and he was
they basically were getting him out. I heard. Yeah,
that's why they ended up having to throw punches in order to get him down, in order to get him out.
He kind of got what he deserved.
Like, yeah, he did. He did. Look.
If you stand in the home end, you can't do that, man. You got to zip it. You got to zip it, man. Like,
there's an unwritten rule. If you're gonna try and get a ticket for the home end of a game, however big that game is, there's an unwritten rule that if you're gonna go in there, you sit on your hands, you shut your mouth, and you watch the game. If you're going to go and start being animated,
I couldnuld do it. I've never sat in a away end. I couldn't do it.
He was goading the Newcastle fans.
No chance. I could do
Emotion too much. Emotion would be too much.
Yeah,
too much.
I've not done it for many years for that reason. And apparently, he was goading the Newcastle fans, which brought attention to him. Because at the time, apparently, fans didn't know he was even an Arsenal fan. But the fact that when you were winning, he was kind of giving it the big one, that's what attracted people to him. And then he started getting aggressive. But you see on the videos, there's like young kids, and you can hear the kids screaming when he's like kicking off. Like, it's a family enclosure for a reason. You take kids there to enjoy the game, not to start kicking off with home fans. It's not right.
No, it's fair, man. Listen, we're going to wrap this up. I've got two questions before we end. One for Tobes, one for Lawless. Tobes, where are Tottenham going to finish, and do you actually care? Is my first question.
6th or 8th. I don't care.
Shut up.
Why are you telling me to shut up?
Because you're saying that you're going to finish 6th or 8th. How can you say we're not going to finish 7th, but we're either going to finish below 7th or just above 7th? That's not where you think. That's where you hope. That's the question.
No, that's why I think because Spurs are literally.
Why do you think you could finish 8th?
Spurs are literally in 6th right now.
Why can't you finish 7th, but you can finish 8th? Mate, that makes sense.
None of your business.
Exactly.
It wasn't you that was asked the question. It was me.
Exactly, and your answer was flawed.
Don't care.
Lawless.
My answer. It's not going to.
Lawless is just jealous tonight because Errol and Toads have been battling and he hasn't been part of it as much.
I've been sitting back eating my popcorn.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
I've been eating my popcorn.
Lawless, last question of the night.
Too busy wanking off Kura.
All right, you fucking Pedro Porridge and all these shit players you've got.
Pedro Porro walks into your team.
Oh, shut up, man.
Okay, go on. Pretend he doesn't.
Lawless, you have a massive game Thursday night, my friend.
Yeah,
massive. Are you gonna do the business on Thursday? Get it done. Get it won.
We're doing the business. We are doing the business because that result against Man United was so massive because it means we can fully concentrate on Europe now. We can put all our eggs in the European basket. We don't have to worry about looking over our shoulder. We can ease up, rotate, all of that stuff, and go full force. So Alkmaar at home, atmosphere is going to be up for it. We're going to slap them, and we can go on and win this competition. And when we do, it's going to be glorious. Let me just say that. No chance we're getting relegated. I don't care if it's still mathematically possible. Leeds and Leicester are not winning their last 3 games. It's not happening. We're safe. Let's focus on Europe, and we're going to win that. And Spurs, if they finish 7th and we win this, it's going to be...
Wait. Can I ask a question? So you're so sure that Leeds and Leicester aren't going to
I didn't say they're not going to win all 3 of their games. They're not going to win their 3 last games.
Okay, so let me ask you a question then. So how many wins are Aston Villa going to get in this run? Us at home, Liverpool away, Brighton at home. And then when you answer that question, then ask me.
I know what you got here.
How many wins Brighton are going to get against Arsenal away, Newcastle away, Southampton at home, Man City at home, and Aston Villa away? Because you told me that these teams are both finishing above Spurs.
Well, they'll get enough. There's enough games there. Southampton.
You told me that both these teams are.
Newcastle is winnable. They're on the.
How many points are these teams going to get across those fixtures, respectively?
On the beach.
Enough. You're essentially on the beach. You looked on the beach against Arsenal, right? No. Let me tell you this, because we are 7 points clear of Leicester and Leeds. You are not 7 points clear of Brighton and Aston Villa. They're right up your arse. So don't sit there and try and apply that logic back to me like we're the same. No, it's not the same. They're right over your shoulder, and they're better than you, and you got to be worried. And
you've got a better goal difference now as well, Lawless. To be fair, what are you on 0 now? You're not like you were minus 12, weren't you?
No. West Ham aren't going down, but Tobes is right, to be fair, because Lawless was basically saying, Tottenham are nowhere. Brighton and Villa are definitely finishing above Tottenham.
Well,
so
Brighton,
it's going to be close.
But Tobes, the worst thing is Tobes has to.
I think Brighton will, to be fair, but Villa.
No, but this is the thing. Tobes has to hope Brighton and Villa finish above Spurs so we can get his precious 8th that he's so desperate for, right? Because if either Brighton or Villa finish above Tottenham, guess where Tottenham finish? 7th. So if I was you, mate, I'd be sitting there and looking at the fixtures going, please win Villa, please win Brighton. I need them both to win, because one of them is going to finish above you, and that's all it takes. And then 7th place is yours, and you'll be going to Vibrator FC, Cyborg FC, all of these teams, and we'll be in the Europa League with a trophy, and the parade is coming, mate. I hope you're coming.
You got to win that competition, though, bro. You know that, right?
We're 3 games away, right? 3 games away. We're safe. Focus on Europe. All we got to do is do our job for 3 games. 1 win. And 2 wins and a draw, and we're through. We're done.
Lawless, are you happy for Moyes to rest people against Brentford at the weekend?
100%. Rest them all. Rest. Give them their rest. Let them have a nap. Let them just chill. It's about Europe now. We want to do it. So
anyone else think? Anyone else?
Okay.
New entry.
Make new entry. Look at this. Do you know what? I want you to do, yeah? When this all happens, I want you to print it out, because I'm going to frame it. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to have my space, and I'll be here like this. I'll get you to sign it for me, in fact. Yeah? So, boy,
anybody else think West Ham will win this now? Has anyone changed their mind? Think West Ham will win this trophy?
Do you know what? They do the opposite of what I fucking say. So, yeah, I'm going to say they're going to win it, because I'm hoping I fucking jinx them to fucking lose it now.
If you do, then I'm not in the mud, because you've jinxed it. We were going to win it and you jinxed it, so it's not my fault.
That works. Yeah. Pete, are you sticking with Fiorentina or Alkmaar or Basel?
Any of those 3 teams? I don't know. Maybe who have you got? Have you got Alkmaar? Yeah, you got Alkmaar in the semis.
They drew away at Ajax the weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, but Ajax ain't like top of the league.
What I will say is that I think
neither West Ham.
What I will say is that I think West Ham will get to the final, and then for me, it's up in the air. Anything's possible.
Tobes, obviously you don't think they will. You think Fiorentina, Basel, AZ, it's not. It doesn't matter who. It's going to be one of them, not West Ham, right?
Yep, you know it.
Okay.
Oh man, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Like, do you know what?
It's gonna be good for like a lot of people on here, or it's gonna be good for you. That is for sure. So
It's
let's see
gonna
what
be
way
a
around it is. Man.
generational episode. I'll tell you that much. Like, I've got to be confident. Why can't I? Why wouldn't I be
Lawless.
No. You gotta be.
Have you booked a ticket away yet?
I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm waiting for the ballot to come through. Actually, I need to check my emails to see if I got a ticket on the ballot thing, the UEFA thing. So I need to check.
Are you normally lucky, Lawless, or are you unlucky? Are you the type that could still end up going down this season? Son scores 30 goals in 4 games, and you end up like not winning the Conference Cup. Is that possible?
I'm not that unlucky. If that happens, then yeah, I'm deactivating. I'm quitting. I'm quitting YouTube.
Oh God!
Can you imagine? Imagine?
Everyone in the chat is backing us, man. Everyone in the chat is backing us. They're
Are
saying,
they?
yeah, you got to be confident. Yeah,
Lawless blowing bubbles out his ass. Yeah, that sounds like they're backing you, mate.
Lawless,
No, it'll be 43 years without a trophy.
Lawless, you got to be confident, bro. Yeah,
there you go. You got to be confident, bro.
Wet spam dreaming of being Bournemouth.
Lawless face all summer when West Ham win. When West Ham win.
Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. Listen, we're going to wrap it up there. Make sure you go follow all the man. Then make sure you go follow the Lawless and West Ham Fan TV. Make sure you go follow United First 1878 and Dan on TikTok. Make sure you go to Tap In Tobes. Obviously, you'll see Tobes on the Big Six and on here as well, and on London's Club.
Check out my interview with Clyde Best. Clyde Best.
Make sure you do that, actually, people. Go over to the Lawless on Twitter now and make sure you retweet that. And yeah, fair play to you, man. That must have been awesome, Lawless.
Yeah, it was. Like, honestly, he's a big West Ham legend. Played with Bobby Moore, Jeff Hurst, all of that. But was a great player in his own right. Had an amazing life coming over as 17th from Bermuda. Faced racism, everything, and yeah, man, won a lot of people's hearts. So great guy, great player. I'm buzzing over it. So yeah, do check that out. Very interesting.
I've just done that now, mate. I'm going to give it a watch afterwards.
Fair play, man. No, well played, man. Well played, and fair play to you. Make sure you go follow Pete over at Loaded Mag NUFC as well. He's just come off a stream about an hour ago, so make sure you go check that one out as well, people. We've got like 500 people in there, and we ain't got many likes, man. So make sure you smash a like on your way out. That would mean the world, and get me up to the next target, which is our next target is 10K, people. So come on, come and help support where we're off to. That is the next target. We're going to see you next week. By then, hopefully, there'll be some crazy fixtures that's taken place. I will be back Thursday night with all of the other guys talking about all of their relegation battle. My God, they are so stressed out at the moment. Bless them. Yesterday's results were crazy. So Lawless can sit back and chill now because the others, I mean, Joe, I'm not going to lie, he's stressed. Ash is done with Leicester. You've got Dave who's buzzing with Forest. Liam's had enough of Southampton. It's crazy. And Pete, it wasn't long ago, mate, that you were on that show, bruv. So you know him very well.
Honestly, I swear to you, I was with my nephews and season ticket holder at Leicester, and watching him go from excited and hopeful to distraught in like 25-30 minutes. I'm just like, I'm so glad I'm out of that. I'm so glad I'm out of that game. That was me every week for 15 years, man. 15 years of that. Like, you guys haven't experienced that stuff. You guys have been getting titles in top fours and all the rest of it, and we've had to deal with that shit. Even Lawless has been through that shit. Like, honestly, just sitting back and going, I'm so glad we're fighting for, that's why I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you know what? Even if we don't get Champions League, we get Europa League, I'm still living the dream, man, because we're in that shit. You know what I mean?
I said this, honestly, man. I said this, man. I said this. You've got to be chilled and enjoy it, mate, and see what happens with the season, man. Big up everybody in the chat. Make sure you smash a like and get us up on the way out. We'll see you next time. I'll see you Thursday. These guys will see you next week. Until then, up the Arsenal. Take care, people.